Hi, welcome back to West Coast Geeks. I'm your host, Joaquin. How we doing, people? Today's video, which is going to be a really long title, my top 10 favorite Advanced Dungeons and Dragons products. So, just talking like first and second edition, which covers Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And these are the products that I enjoy reading or using, or these products are the ones that I've always carried through every edition. I didn't play fourth. I read into it and I was just like, nah, I'm good, and I passed. But a lot of these products I've used in third edition, and I try to use as many of these references in fifth. So, starting us off, this is the deities and demigod. I had to cut this from the list. This is God, I can't think of the word. I'm sorry, I'm just blanking out. I mean, like, it also ran, but it's not. It just didn't make the cut. I can't think of the word. Eric, help me out. Leave it in the comment below. So, this is a runner-up, I guess, but there's another word. So, um, Deities and Demigods, really good book. Love the artwork. This is not my original copy. My original copy has Cthulhu in it, but it is so jacked up that I bought this copy and it doesn't have Cthulhu in it. So I will be replacing, or I will be getting another book that does have Cthulhu in it before I get rid of my originals. Just really all jacked up. But yep. Okay, so let's get on with the list. Number 10. The basic set, the Holmes basic set. When I was a kid and my parents first got me the set, and it came with the Keep on the Borderlands. This box set came with me everywhere. Even when I had my player's handbook and my Dungeon Master's Guide and everything, I still took this when I traveled, or when I visited my cousins and stuff, because I tried to get them to play the game. Not really successful in that, but at least with this basic set, it was enough to be able to play the game, as opposed to bringing the player's handbook, the monster manual, Dungeon Master's Guide, and the adventure. I had everything in this box set that I needed just to, play a game with whoever wanted to play. So this always had a special place in my heart. I got it for a Christmas present, not this box set. I've actually had this set like 3 times, or at least twice when I was a child. And then they got the other, about the other, they would always buy me the other basic sets. So, yeah, number 10, nostalgia wise. If I ever get a chance, would I run players through just exactly first edition? Yeah, I would if I get a chance to. So, oh, and it's complete, and it has all the dice. Pretty sure I did a video. As you can see, so this one came with B1, and these are all the original dice. All right. I always like to be careful with this because I got lucky. I only paid like, it was before 2009, around that time. I paid like $80 for this with shipping and taxes. And I think I got it even cheaper because it was back then when they had eBay bucks. So, okay. Number 9 holds a special place and something that I've always enjoyed reading, and I still do go back to it every now and then, is the Unearthly Arcana. I think it's mostly because of the artwork, but I did love that they introduced the Paladin, the Cavalier. They increase the level on the Druids. A lot of cool stuff that they did in here. Some spells, some other rules, cantrips, and like I, I think it's more for the cover, but every now and then, even in like third and fifth edition, I'll go to this book and look for some ideas on some stuff. That's number 9. So number 8 is something that I usually get to play with every edition that I've ever had, which is against the slave lords, and in this case, it's Scourge of the Slave Lords. And I actually have the originals, and I'll show you those in a second. Um, what I like about this adventure is actually really good to play right after you've introduced somebody to like a module that which you played through like first through fourth or fifth. This is a good segue to go into because there's a lot of twists and turns, and the monsters start out relatively low and almost stay that way. And if you play through it, you'll understand why they kept it that way. There's a lot of things that go on, and the players are just challenged in different ways. Okay. Slave Pits of the Underground. Cool. Always loved this cover. And these are like the first introduced to like these ants, which I always thought were cool. Secrets of the Slaver Stockade. This is where you're going into the fortress, or one of the fortresses of the slave lords. Assault on the area of the slave lord. This is actually cool. You're actually going into a city that is controlled by the slave lords, so you just can't be going in there and trying to kill everybody because your characters will die. And last but not least, in the dungeons of the slave lords. For those of you who had a chance to get to play through all four and play through this one, this module is so much fun, especially if you're a monk. So, no spoilers because Eric and I will be going through all of these. All right. Now I lost track. It's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I don't have the adventure on me, but I do have T1. And so Goodman's game did a really good job with the village of Hamlet. And this is the Temple of Elemental Evil. And so that's the cover. And then this is the other. When they finally came out with the book, this was the cover on there. This is iconic. Like, I love taking players through this, and I've already done that. Yeah, I really recommend that you start your players off at first. My group went in after the Keep on the Borderlands, so they were pretty high up going in. So I really had to tailor a lot of things. So I would start new characters to play this adventure. It's pretty long. So if your characters or your players like playing like hack and slash, and they don't mind going dungeon delving, because this is the first like in Dungeons and Dragons, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the published mega dungeon. So you can get this on Amazon for under 100 easily. I'm pretty sure. I would highly recommend getting it, especially if you want to convert this from and play in 5e. All right, next up, it's Planescapes, but this is a Hellbound: The Blood War. So this is probably like my favorite box out of all the box sets. Um, I really did enjoy using Planescapes and having my characters start out there and the City of Doors, and they picked like different factions that they were from, and we did different adventures. But if you really want to learn about the Blood Wars, this is a good box set to get. However you want to get it. If you want the original, it's going to cost you close to anywhere between bare minimum, if you're lucky, 125 to 150, but the average is 150 to over 200. So I feel fortunate that I got this. The Blood Wars I've always felt interesting, where um, the characters, it's one of those things where player characters, I don't care how high you are, there's not much you can do to influence the Blood Wars. Even if you were to play an adventure where it nudges it one way or the other, it's only temporary. And I didn't mean temporary, I mean like just for a brief moment. And so, if anything, you're just aiding some demon or devil's plan. So, like, this always has a special place for me because I just love reading about the Blood Wars and all the different demons and devils that, quite frankly, most characters are never going to run into. And if you do, it's really end game material. So, if they're reading for a DM, this is great. And it gives you, like, some tips to, like, around mid level, mid range, I'd say around 10, 11 to like introduce some of these characters or the planes where they can go and find treasure or find an artifact, but it's limitless. All right. Okay, so now right here, I believe this is number 5, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I probably should have wrote down on a little note right here and been like, number 5. So, City of Grayhawk. If I had a choice, whether what campaign world we're gonna play in, it's always gonna be Grayhawk for me. It's more of nostalgia. It's the first system. Now, the reason why I usually harp back to like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, because to me, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, especially second edition, um, was the best edition. Like, it's like product wise, everything. And for those of you who don't know, Forgotten Realms is part of second edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So when you say that, for those of you out there who say that Forgotten Realms is the best, yeah, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons is the best campaign setting. They gave us planescapes, they gave us spelljammers. Oh, what's the other one? I can't think of it. It's off the top, the tip of my tongue. They're in the desert, and hold on, Dark Sun. So had to go back to my shelf real quick, and I thought this was cool. Veiled Alliance. So what I love about Grayhawk is this box set in particular. I know I'm saying sex a lot. It's probably on my mind. All right, so enough of that. Should edit it out, but won't. The city of Grayhawk is filled with intrigue, and this box set really helps you fill out like the general area. So you have the folks, feuds, and factions. Nice book. And the good, the bad, and the in between people who make the city what it is. My eyesight's going. I can't read through this screen. We got the Gem of Flannis, and that's the continent they live on. And then we have the maps. The maps of like the surrounding areas of Grayhawk. A nice city map of it. And a more detailed of the city maps for those who want to just go along and they see the buildings of interest. And all those blank buildings are just for you to fill in. You get the sewers, which I thought was cool, and you get some adventures. So, if your player characters ever end up in the city of Grayhawk, this is a great expansion to have and play, and I've used it a lot. That's why it's all beat up. All right, number 4. I've actually made a video of this. I have the other book too that I'll be talking about, The Rogues Gallery. So this has a special place in my heart. This is my original one, which I believe I did that to the book. That was back in the days everybody was punching, putting these in binders. And at the time it was cool. And then later on, as I grew up, I was like, man, this stuff's going to be worth money. So I shouldn't be doing that. So I do have another copy of this book, but this is my original. I've done a video about this. This book has a lot of sentimental value for me. Um, I just really love this book, and these were the first examples of how to make interesting NPCs. And that's me coloring in the book because I thought the lizard man looked cool, and I did that through most of the booklet. And so this was my first look at how to develop characters. They have some cool charts in here. I also did a video. I'll leave a link in the description. But these are like really quick charts and to help your DM out to flesh out things. That's why it's like number 4. Like these are really useful. And these are things that I've always turned to. Which brings us to number 3. So, Eric and I have already done the Monster Manual. Check that out. You can look in the playlist, Advanced, I think it's like the history of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And we went through the entire section, a few of them, we would link them together like ABC, and then we stopped at dragons, and we stopped at demons, we stopped at giants, and a couple of other ones we have stopped and just given them their own video. So if you want to learn more about the original, the first Monster Manual, then check out our videos. Well, Monster Manual 2, love those. If I had to pick between those two and, you guessed it, number 3, The Fiendifolio. This is my original copy. I have always loved this book. Love the cover. Love the art style. Just what they have in the book, the creatures. Even though I love the Monster Manual, and I have even more love for the Monster Manual 2 because of the demons and devil sections that they fleshed out and adding more dinosaurs and some other things. If I had one book to pick that influences me more, that has an influence on me when I create monsters or even look to add something to 5e, I usually go to the Fiendifolio first and see what I can find. Okay. So number 2 is like my favorite box set. And you Ravenloft, Realms of Terror, Strahd. This was like, when I first saw this product, I love the artwork, and I was just like so intrigued by this that I have so many of the modules. I'm still looking to get a few of them. I think I like maybe anywhere between 5 and 7 short, and then I'll have them all. Maybe I'm missing a box set, which is like a minor goal. And Ravenloft was just, it it really took the player characters into this realm of like gothic and horrors, and helped the DM, more importantly, describe this world. And you had fear checks, and this is where the player characters, they're trapped, and there's nothing they can do to get out of these realms unless they find like a magical item, because there were a few magical items that allowed you to leave the realm, but most of the time you usually had to kill the big bad guy, and then you found out the hard way that even if you killed him, he just came back to life. So I think they learned from their mistake with Ravenloft, um, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. That should have been a box set like they did with Spelljammers, and they didn't do that, and so they really didn't give us much. And I love all these little supplements here that you get. You get the families, you get maps. We get cards, more cards, altered magic. Like they don't, really deal with that in fifth edition. They really don't like to alter or really mess with the player characters. But I feel like when you go into special realms or when you travel in the planes, your magic should be affected. Another cool artwork. Yeah, and there was a lot of these. I wish they would have done a box set, like a box set, like we have here. That would have been great. I mean, knowing them, they charge like $150, $200. But the Realms of Terror, and that's what you got. I mean, this was cool, people. I mean, back in the days, I loved reading all this stuff, and I still do. Like, we're currently with my group that we meet on Monday with Eric and a few other of my friends. We're playing Curse of Strahd right now and having a pretty good time with it. So, even if you can't meet up with you, like we play like twice a month, or we try to. Lately, we haven't been. Life happens and stuff, but whenever you can, try to play with your friends. Enjoy the game. So that was number 2. That's something that I always try to introduce. And now that we have Curse of Strahd, that'll be another one that I'll always try to introduce to whatever generation I'm playing with. And number 1 is like my favorite adventure of all time, and that is the Keep on the Borderland. This module right here, I must have DM'd and played like over 50 times easily, because I received this. I started being a DM when I was around 10. Now, actually, 9, because I was born in 72. And so I started playing at the age of 8. And so by 9, I was a DM sometimes with me and my friends, and I was still playing with my DM. And this adventure went everywhere with me, like I said before, with the Holmes box set. This is probably one of like my top 3 easily that fits in. So you have like B2. Now I put in the Mines of Fandelver in there. I include that in there because I think that's a really great overall product to have for starting players. And the other one is the Sinister Secrets of Saltmarsh. And I wanted to include that in there, but there was so much other things. Like I'll probably do my favorite adventures for starting locations, first level. But this has so many great memories. And for me, this is what Dungeons and Dragons is about. Just, um, playing with your friends, or maybe, if you're lucky, making new friends and, playing a game that you all enjoy. And that's the keep. So if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. Leave a comment below if any of these adventures you've gone through or DM'd. And if you would like to go through the Keep on the Borderland, once again, Goodman Games has the Keep on the Borderland and In Search of Unknown, which is cool. Both of these are really good adventures you can use. You can set these in any campaign. They're both 5e compatible. They also have a few other adventures that we're going to be talking about. So these are my top 10 favorite Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. What are your favorite Advanced Dungeons and Dragons products for those of you who played back in the day, either the DM or the player, or just in general. Like if you're 5e, you just got into Dungeons and Dragons and you played 5e for a few years, what's your favorite product? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you really enjoy about either the book or an adventure or a supplement, even if it's third party. Would love to hear about it. So with that, people, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you later.